One of my favorite movies, sci-fi movies as a kid, was one of Steven Spielberg's early movies called Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And Close Encounters is a movie about aliens coming to visit us here on Earth. Like many of his early movies, E.T., he clearly had an appreciation for visitors from outer space. These particular visitors, though, happen to come and visit us in a unique landscape here in North America, one that you can find in northeasternmost Wyoming. This place is called Devil's Tower, or Monotepila, as the natives, or Bear's Lodge, as that translates to. It is very isolated. It's this lone, flat-topped mountain, very unique, a little over 1,200 feet in height. It stands above the surrounding prairies. And it appeared to the natives that lived in the area to have these long scratches from top to bottom, hence the name Monotepila, or Bear's Lodge, is as though the bear had scratched the stump of an ancient tree as it tried to climb up. But it's not made of wood. It is a mountain, and it's made of a type of igneous rock that often forms beneath the volcano in the volcano's plumbing system. Technically, we could call this a laccolith, or an igneous body that forms underground. But many interpretations of how this thing formed. One thing that everyone agrees on is that erosion has removed the softer Cretaceous and Triassic and Jurassic rocks that form the cap on this part of the world and exposed this once buried cone of rock that was essentially a plug that sort of plugged off this volcano that once existed at the Earth's surface and is now eroded away. So we no longer see the volcanoes. What we do see is this plumbing system frozen in time, and this giant plug, if you will, of very fine-grained igneous rock. Now, Devil's Tower is also famous in a way because it was the first national monument ever designated by Teddy Roosevelt here in the United States. Not long after, the Yellowstone, which is on the other end of the state of Wyoming, was designated the national park. So Devil's Tower National Monument is an amazing place to visit. You can go there today. In fact, you can find places nearby that still show the Close Encounters of the Third Kind movie, because a very large portion of the movie was shot in and around in the landscapes around Devil's Tower, because we had to have that in the background. But many of the rolling hills and the forests and some of the shots on the roads were all places in the vicinity in the real world Devil's Tower Monument. One thing that people don't appreciate that I really think is cool about Devil's Tower is that people think of this lone mountain standing out on the horizon, which is true. But geologically speaking, it's not alone. It actually has brother and sister Devil's Towers, if you will, that actually are in various stages of being eroded and exposed still under the ground in the area of northeastern Wyoming. And a lot of these follow some ancient plate boundaries that move down beneath the northeastern part of the state, including the Powder River Basin, which is near Gillette, Wyoming. And even we can image on scientific data, such as seismic data, we can image these large igneous bodies deep underground that haven't even been surfaced yet. So maybe in tens or hundreds of millions of years, if we came back, we would find not at the Devil's Tower we see today, but its cousins and brothers and sister Devil's Towers that have been exposed through erosion. Pretty cool stuff, geology, and pretty amazing place, Devil's Tower National Monument.